Music has a special relationship with each person's memory. It ages with us. The music that we listen to as our lives elapse stays with us and leaves an imprint that's unique for each person. Listening to an old song is quite possibly the most powerful way to recall the past. The death of Whitney Houston rocked my generation this week. She contributed to the soundtrack to many of our lives. In this video, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to give you a step-by-step formula so that you can draw Whitney Houston. While this might sound challenging, I want to reiterate that I can help you. So grab a pencil and paper and get ready to surprise yourself. Thousands of people have successfully completed my drawing tutorials, and you are the next person to do so. Step 1. Make the 5 dots that you see. While this step appears to be easy, the relationship between the dots is critical. So pause the video and take your time. Notice that if you connect the dots, we will have 2 triangles. Notice that the top triangle is larger than the bottom one. Step 2. Add the nostrils and the line that connects them. Step 3. Add circles around the top row of dots. This will eventually be the irises of each eye. Step 4. Complete the eye shapes. Step 5. Add the rainbow shapes for the eyelids. Step 6. Add eyebrows. Step 7. Add the very soft line on your left and the backwards C shape on your right. Step 8. Add the flattened M shape for the upper lip. Step 9. Add teeth. Step 10. Add the bottom lip. Step 11. Add the oval shape for the face. Step 12. Add the shapes for the neck. Step 13. Add the lines for the blouse. Step 14. Add the shape for the hair. Just generalize it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Step 15. Add the stray ends to the hair and the bangs. It was the 80s. Step 16. Now it's time to shade. If you feel that you made an unfixable mistake after you start shading, hit the first link in the upper right corner. This will give you an easy way to start over from this point rather than from the beginning. The method of shading that I'm using is called cross-hatching. To see my tutorial on cross-hatching, hit the second link in the upper right corner. Now you can start off by darkening the eye area. Whitney is wearing mascara in this picture, so you can darken the lashes above and below the eye. The upper set of lashes will be thicker than the bottom set. The area between the eyebrows and the upper eyelid will be hatched to a tone that is almost as dark as the eyebrows. Notice that there are highlight areas. There is a highlight area on the upper eyelid and just below the eyebrow. Do not make a solid line for the bridge of the nose. That will remain as a smudge. You can use a paintbrush, a blending stump, or a Q-tip to soften it. Notice the difference in tone between the left side and the right. The white stick that you see me using is called a tortillon, or a blending stump. Do some light hatching over the cheeks and the nose, and some extra hatching to round the face by where the hair is on each side of the face. If you wish to repeat this step, just hit the restart button on the screen now. Step 17. It's time to shade the forehead. Be sure to continue the tones that exist from the previous step. The center of the forehead will be in highlight and the hair will be darkened relatively dark. Make the temple area almost as dark as the hair. Use a paintbrush, blending stump, or Q-tip if you wish to smooth the transition from dark to light. Step 18. The top lip will be darker than the bottom lip, and the top lip will be at its darkest point as it moves towards the opening for the mouth. Shade around the bright highlight on the bottom lip. It should be similar in tone to the teeth. The tones on the bottom of the face are tricky. You will have to round the face at the jawline without making her look like she has a beard. There is a solid line at the jawline, and the area directly below the chin will be in heavy shadow, as you will see in our next step. Step 19. The darkest skin tones that you will see in this drawing of Whitney Houston will be on the neck. There are two prominent points to notice. The first is the clavicle, in other words, the collarbone. Notice the shadow that goes across the bottom of the neck, below the shoulder line. This is an important feature to include in your drawing. The second is the triangular highlight right below her Adam's apple, on the right side of her neck. Pay close attention on the subtle shading in these regions. Please notice that it is taking me several tries to get it right, and I'm sure that it will be the same case for you. Before you draw, compare the tones of the face with the tones of the neck. Just use a flat, dark, solid tone to complete the clothing. I'm using a 9B graphite stick. Hit the repeat button to restart this step. Step 20. I really didn't add too much detail to the hair. I just used the graphite stick to do it quickly. Pay close attention to the edges. I varied the hardness of the edges to give the hair a lifelike quality, since I really didn't spend too much time on the details. Use the darkest pencil that you have on this step. I again used the 9B graphite stick, but you can complete this step with a pencil. Step 21, I am going to become unautomated. I'm going to talk you through the rest of the drawing because it does get a little bit repetitive and perhaps a little bit complicated. I've gotten you this far, and hopefully, if you're still listening, you should have a likeness of Whitney Houston. I really wanted to push this one, and I think that it actually did come out as one of my best drawings that I've ever done. But I wanted to say to you that you have to invest a lot of time in it. This took me about 3.5 hours to do. And on average, my tutorials take me, I would say, between an hour and a half and 2 hours. But I really wanted to push this one. But you're going to see me repeat myself again and again with cross-hatching, with erasing, and with smudging with the brush. You're going to see me do that again and again. And you can do this as long as you feel fit. I spent 4.5 hours of my life doing this, and perhaps that's a little bit long, but I really wanted to see how far I could push this drawing, and I was really happy with the final product. When you're finishing a drawing, you want to focus on the edges, and I want you to look at the two sides of the neck. Look at how sharp that edge is on the on our left-hand side versus the right. And you do have dark tones, I suppose, next to the one on the right. But you know, all around, you want to see the difference in edges. Look at the nose. Look at how different that is from the two sides of the neck. And you see, that's a very, very soft edge. You want to know where there's soft edges and where there's hard edges. The brush is a great tool for creating soft edges. You can also do a soft edge just from cross-hatching. Doesn't have to be a paintbrush or a blending stump that gives that to you. Yeah, there's a super close-up of Whitney. But you know, it's you just want to finish your drawing by considering the edges. Another good tip that I have for you is to look at it from a distance. I always use a tape or I use a tack, put it up on a wall, take a step back maybe about 10 feet. And people are not going to judge your drawing from looking at it up close like you're doing now when you're drawing. They're going to judge it from afar at first. So, you always want to be able to step back and to see how the tones go together. It really doesn't matter how it looks up close. It's that distance that really makes the difference for you. Take a look at mine. Notice the gradual tones that are happening. And that's what took so long to build up. These take a lot of time to do. It's a fight that you have with the eraser and with cross-hatching and smudging and adding a little and taking away. It's a fun process to do. It's a fun challenge to have. And this is the finished version of it right here. I hope yours was successful. And I'm going to make a request to you. If it was, just take a short video of it and post it as a video response to this video. You might notice that I featured a lot of the past video responses. I'll do the same with yours. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope that this helped you.